So here we are, we've landed in Nova Scotia in Halifax. We took a flight out of Heathrow this morning on Air Canada, and it's a short, just over 5 hours I think, but the flight was half empty, loads of space on it. We've arrived in Nova Scotia, very exciting. Flew in over Newfoundland, so great to see that, absolutely covered in snow, and the sun's shining here at the moment. Our next stop is a private jet to take us up to Sydney Airport, just north of Halifax Airport where we are now, and then a helicopter flight straight into Cape Smokey. I think it's about 5 hours if you go by car, so yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. Nice little airport here, very quick getting the baggage out, and yeah, let's see what the next stage holds. So here we are, this is the jet we're picking up. It's about a 45 minute flight up today, and in beautiful weather. As you can see, the sun's shining. It's going to be a good flight. I'm here with Stephen, the pilot today, who's flown us up on Gateway Travel. Stephen, nice to see you. How are you doing?
Very welcome.
Great flight up there today. So, I mean, is it always as smooth as that?
Not always, but most of the time it's smooth.
Okay,
most
pretty
of the
good.
time we pick pretty smooth there.
Yeah, great stuff. So what sort of plane have we been coming up in today? What's that?
Beechcraft King Air 200.
Okay. We've covered some incredible terrain there. Do you ever get bored of seeing that?
I never get bored of flying.
Don't you? You
Never
love
ever
it.
get bored of flying.
And it's pretty frozen at the moment. I mean, how many months a year would you see it like that?
Depends on the years, but usually about 2-3 months a year is frozen up here.
Okay.
And then sometimes it's a little bit less than that.
Okay, yeah.
But we travel to the far north, we travel to the Caribbean. We travel everywhere. So
All right, when you're going up there, let me know, won't you?
Yeah.
So in terms of some stats, what sort of distance have we just covered?
We were a real short distance. We were 165 nautical miles to get here. A lot of times we head to Labrador. We're usually a 2.5 hour flight.
Yeah.
We go to Iqaluit, which would be a 5 hour flight.
Okay. And what typically would that cost us?
Costs about $2,200, $2,300 an hour for flying. So a trip like this is probably around $5,000.
Okay.
Because the plane has to come back to Halifax.
And it chucks a few people in the back, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
So,
we had 8 people on back.
yeah, exactly.
So
Fantastic.
perfect.
So how else could I do that journey? Drive up?
Drive up for 5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I definitely took the right route. Didn't
No
I?
speeding tickets.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much indeed for that. It's been a great flight. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed.
Don't really appreciate it.
Having flown into Sydney, we then took a helicopter that flew us up to Cape Smokey. It was an absolutely incredible ride, seeing the fantastic coastline of Cape Breton. So mad seeing the snow right next to the sea, and we flew straight over the resort of Cape Smokey. First sight was absolutely superb, and then flew into Redhead, our accommodation for the week, and landed on the roof, as you do. We've landed on top of pretty much a James Bond style house right on the coast, which is of course the owners of the ski resort. Welcome to Cape Smokey. When we think of Canada, we think big. We think massive landscapes, deep snow, incredible food and warm, friendly people. But let's be real, the majority of us are thinking about skiing on the far Pacific coast. Well, hold on to your skis, because Canada is much bigger than that. And there's a hidden gem on the Atlantic side that you have to see to believe. Cape Smokey, home to the only gondola on Canada's Atlantic coast, located in Nova Scotia, southeastern Canada. This is one of the few places where you can ski with those jaw-dropping views of the ocean. Cape Smokey offers something truly rare, the perfect combination of sea and snow. It's a place where the slopes are uncrowded, the terrain caters to all levels of skiers, whether you're a beginner looking for smooth, gentle runs, or an expert ready to conquer steeps or gnarly black diamonds. This place has got it all. So let's talk snow. Cape Smokey averages 6 meters of natural snow each winter. That's 20 feet of powder. It's a dream come true for anyone who loves skiing in fresh, untouched snow. There's so much more to Cape Smokey than just skiing, and that's why I've come to visit. I heard about this place, but I kind of didn't believe it. But whether you're off the slopes or winding down after a day of adventure, you're in for a treat. It's known for its incredible food, great accommodation options, and warm, welcoming locals. Cape Smokey will make you feel part of that local community from the moment you arrive. Situated at the northeastern tip of Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Cape Smokey is surrounded by stunning beaches, scenic hiking trails, and endless outdoor activities. From snowmobiling and mountain biking to surfing and paddleboarding, this area is a paradise for adventure seekers year round. And when you're experiencing this sort of skiing, the snow's great, and the sea is right behind you, it is quite spectacular. We'll ski here for half a day, and then we'll head down and we'll surf later today. That's a good mountain. The slopes are a decent pitch and a decent width. For beginner or intermediate skier, there's plenty to entertain you here for a couple of days. And just have fun screaming around, almost like your private mountain. And here's the base station at Cape Smokey. The lovely little lodge that's almost house-like, where you come in for a warm, friendly welcome, beautiful food, and a few beers on tap too. So we're here in the Cape Smokey Lodge. This is the lodge that's at the base station in Cape Smokey, and I kind of not really sure what I expected when I arrived, because I know this place is in development. This ski hill was dead before the guys arrived to reopen the resort and revitalise the whole area, building accommodation. And I think I expected it to be literally just him and us skiing this mountain, but actually there's a thriving community here that are coming and skiing here. It almost feels like a clubhouse with locals here having a great time. A few skiers on the mountain, plenty of people in the lodge having food and drinks and having a good time, and some après going on. It really does feel like a thriving little resort. We are talking about a beautiful sort of lodge at the bottom of the Atlantic gondola where everybody comes and hangs out, kids and families, and it feels like a great community spirit. So after a morning skiing, what else are you going to do for après? Well, next stop, surfing in that freezing cold sea. Surfing in the Atlantic at this time of the year felt absolutely nuts, but they kitted us out in the most fantastic sweatsuits with gloves, mittens and booties as well, to make sure that we couldn't feel the effects of the freezing cold ocean. And it was an absolute ball. They brought up an instructor from Sydney, and it was such a lot of fun. It was really good. We managed to stay in the water for about 45-50 minutes before we started to feel a chill, and they had somebody on the beach all the time keeping an eye on us, making sure that we weren't getting too cold. And yeah, it was a great day. The surf was up a little bit. We had a chance to have a good go at bodyboarding as well as having a go at standing up. Really, really good fun.
Well, Dom's gone off surfing again, but I decided to come into the backcountry here in Nova Scotia in Cape Breton Island. This is the Breton Highlands National Park. It's spectacular here. Scenery is amazing. It's currently snowing, about -1 degrees. And if you think Japan, trees and powder, well, the powdered maybe not today. We've got more spring-like snow conditions. But yeah, I can see the potential here. Quite steep in the forest, but there are plenty of mellow runs as well. We've been ski touring up and across, looking out for some moose along the way. It is a lot of fun. Sorry you're not here with us today, Dom. I hope the surf's up for you.
So whether you're here for the snow or soaking in the ocean breeze in the summer, this place really has a lot to offer. Plus, you don't have to sacrifice comfort for adventure. The accommodation we're staying at Redhead, which is pretty much a James Bond style villa, right on the ocean front. As you open the doors in the morning, you're looking out onto the sunset and the ice forming in the sea. Being based right on the ocean there, the lobsters are being pulled out as fast as you can get back for dinner. This is the most incredible multi-million-pound single-storey chalet built right on the ocean front, where you have meters of glazed doors opening up straight onto the ocean. So you are about 10 or 15-minute drive outside of the actual ski resort. The rooms and the furnishings and the attention to detail is absolutely outstanding. As you can see behind me, it's fully furnished with a gymnasium and sauna. It looks like a hotel, but this is a private individual chalet, which they're building 7 more of. This is a highly unusual resort. You are talking about skiing straight down to the ocean front. So in one day, you can easily ski down to the bottom, take your ski boots off, walk across the road and start surfing. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, there's no two ways about it. You arrive at somewhere like Redhead in Cape Smokey and you're staying here where you're able to ski straight down to the ocean and have the most incredible vistas while you're skiing. It's a small ski area with just one gondola that takes you up, but obviously the expansion is happening as we speak with new buildings going up. They've got about 78 new condos opening over the next 24 months, which is absolutely outstanding. It's only a short ride away. Don't forget, we're only talking 5 hours flight away and only a 4-hour time difference. So a big benefit when you arrive in Nova Scotia and transferring up to Cape Smokey. This is without doubt one for your bucket list. Another little treat while we're at Cape Smokey is coming up snowmobiling, and they've got these fantastic trails that go on for miles and miles, and little huts that you can stop at and get a little drink on the way and a little break before we move on. But the trails are fantastic, as you've probably seen. Coming up through the middle of the trees, you really do feel like you're on your own little adventure, which is absolutely fantastic. And all the gear that they supply for you, they deck you out head to toe in jacket and boots. Let's just see if we can see our boots here. Gloves, helmet. Yeah, a lot of fun. Check out the sunshine there on the slopes behind us. Look at this place. I'm outside the Cape Smokey Lodge and the Atlantic gondola pointing straight out to the Atlantic Ocean. If you want a real adventure, I get a chance to speak to the CEO of Cape Smokey, Martin Cavell, and see what he's got to say about the development of this fantastic resort. Right, so I'm lucky enough to be joined by the CEO of Cape Smokey, Martin Cavell. I've been eyeing up this incredible surroundings in Nova Scotia. Martin, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for coming as well.
Staying in this fabulous place that you've created. Can you give us a little bit of history about how Cape Smokey became, I guess, a derelict ski resort? Because there was a hill here, wasn't there?
Yes, so in 1971 there was a ski hill which was opened for the first time here. Then kind of as the time went on, the steel manufacturing in Sydney closed down. The coal mining was shut down as well in Nova Scotia, and the fisheries were severely limited in their operations, and kind of that led into a significant downfall of the economy in Nova Scotia as a whole, because the three pillars what held up the economy kind of disintegrated overnight. We bought it in late 2000, fall 2019. It was run by a local volunteer group. I think the first time I got here and I was speaking to them, how long are your winters? They would be saying, well, last year I think we had 11 days. They were trying their best, but it was a volunteer group running it.
You've clearly had a strong vision right from the minute you walked in, and what was that vision?
It's kind of bonkers if you think about it. You're skiing to the ocean, that's why you have 11 days of skiing. And then I actually spent here the first winter, and I realized they get meters and meters about of snow, and it's not that they don't have enough snow. Long story short, when I got here, it was just like, okay, if we are going to make this a resort, it cannot be on one season. It has to be all year round. We know the summers are extremely strong here, and 80% of them do the cabbage rally in one day, and everybody is playing the golf. There's 3 top 100 golf courses, two in Inverness, one right over here now. It's 84th, I believe, or 87th in the world. So a lot of golfers, a lot of sightseeing, a lot of hiking, and obviously that's not enough for having any business operate. You have to keep the continuity, because if you want people to give you commitment, you have to give it to them as well. We operate on all year-round basis. To be quite honest, frankly, I believe the winter product is a lot better than the summer product, because it's perhaps not only about skiing, but it's all about the activities we have done together, like snowmobiling, surfing. Like, who would have thought to surf in the winter time? You have the floating icebergs, you're battling the wave, you lived it right now. And you're going to the beach, you go and jump into the hot tub. What an experience, right? We have over 150 acres of skiable terrain, 300 meters vertical drop. Not enough to get you that you're losing your breath. At the same time, because we are base elevation, you're not paying for your own suffering going somewhere 3,000 meters up in the air, right?
So your first mission when you got here, when you were looking at that hill, what was the first thing that needed to be done?
The infrastructure which was here was not maintained in any measurable way since the late 80s, early 90s. So all of the snowmaking, the lifts, everything had to be replaced. We are the closest ski hill to an ocean in the world. We are 158 meters from the ocean.
You started building some fantastic accommodation on the ocean front. We're staying in an incredible James Bond style mansion, I guess you would call it, right on the ocean front. In 5 or 6 years' time, how do you think people will see a difference when they come back here then?
Oh, I think every year we are trying to push the product a little bit farther. Everything what we do, and you see it in this house, we want it to have beautiful attention to details. So the villas what we are building at the bottom of the hill, you open the doors, you see them. You can jump into the ocean. In 2.5 years, we believe we will have 78 of these villas at the bottom built. We are also building a microbrewery with a new restaurant at the bottom of the hill, which I think will be a game changer, because not only you will be able to surf and ski and do all of these other activities, but you will have to have a unique Cape Smokey beer at the base. And most importantly, we are also planning the expansion of the ski area. Right now, as I said, we are looking, we have 150 acres of skiable terrain. We are looking to expand that within 6-7 years to about 600 acres.
I mean, I think one of the things that's really impacted me is the fact that every gondola ride was a new conversation. That was also a fantastic feeling. Everybody wanted to talk, and when you got down to the lodge at the bottom, Cape Smokey Lodge, great food, great people, a few good beers, a bit of après music. It had a real community vibe about it.
Yeah, no, that's the beauty about, you know, Atlantic Canada, and especially about Cape Breton. Here, anybody who comes there, it's all custom experiences.
Yeah.
You are not a number. You are part of the
Yeah.
extended family of Cape Smokey.
And you're developing your own race team.
Oh yes, so it's fantastic. Yeah, it's their second year skiing, and that they're able to get on podium already at this, at least even on the Atlantic Canada level, is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, you're very bashful about it all, in the fact that we've seen the birth of a ski resort here and happening as we speak. What would be your final message to British people out there that are interested in coming out and seeing this incredible landscape in Nova Scotia? What would you say?
Well, if you want to see, as you said, a birth of something of a miracle, if you think about it, and if you are tired of being a number, and you want to have a serious adventure, this is the place to go. And the beauty of it is we are just one flight away, 5.5, 6 hours to get here.
Absolutely.
And this is the place to go. Thank you so much for coming here.
It's been fantastic. Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, and I hope that you will be coming every year to make sure that we are on track.
I'll make sure you're on track.
Yes, very much so.
Good to see you.